Have you ever wondered why the deepest wounds are often the ones caused by the people who were supposed to love you the most? The kind of pain that doesn't just hurt, it changes you, shakes you, leaves marks you cannot see, but always feel. When you are someone who carries a heavy soul mission, someone who was born different, someone who feels things more deeply than others, life already asks a lot from you. You are carrying the weight of deep inner healing, the responsibility of breaking cycles, and the burden of walking through a world where your heart often feels like it doesn't belong. But when the very people who should have protected you, nurtured you, and lifted you up instead become the ones who tear you down, it creates a wound so deep that it becomes part of your story. It is not just another hurt, it is a betrayal of the foundation you were supposed to stand on. It shakes your sense of safety, your sense of self, and sometimes even your sense of worth. The hard truth is, not everyone in your family is meant to walk with you into the future you are growing toward. Some are only tied to the past versions of you. They are connected to your history, but not to your healing. They were meant to be part of your beginnings, not part of your becoming. And you need to know this without feeling guilt. Just because someone is your family does not mean they are healthy for your soul. Many people who are called to greater paths are not stuck because they lack strength, talent, or wisdom. They are stuck because they are emotionally entangled in family dysfunctions that suffocate their growth. They are trapped by guilt, by loyalty to pain, by the heavy expectation to keep peace at the cost of their own becoming. You are not imagining things when you feel a deep ache around certain family members. You are not cruel for noticing that being around them drains you. You are not selfish for needing space. You are not broken for choosing yourself. You are waking up to a truth that many people spend their whole lives running from. Sometimes the people you thought would walk with you cannot even see the road you are on. And as painful as it is, you must honor that truth, because your healing, your peace, your purpose, they all deserve your loyalty more than your guilt ever will. Pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, did these words find you exactly when you needed them? Sometimes, what seems like a random moment is really a whisper from something greater, nudging you to see clearly. If you feel that spark inside your heart, don't ignore it. You are receiving confirmation that your soul already knows what your mind is still trying to process. You are being asked to trust yourself, to listen to your own knowing, even if it means standing alone for a while. When you begin to grow spiritually, everything inside you starts to shift. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart begins to heal. You start speaking differently, living differently, caring about things that once seemed unimportant. You crave peace over chaos, healing over pretending, truth over comfort. You become protective of your energy, your time, your space. You start setting boundaries, reclaiming parts of yourself you once gave away too easily. But when you try to share this new way of living with your family, you are often met not with support, but with ridicule. They laugh at your growth. They make fun of your healing. They act like you are strange for wanting something better. They roll their eyes when you talk about energy. They mock your need for peace. They say you have become too sensitive, too deep, too different. But it's not your growth that bothers them. It's the way your growth reflects back to them their own refusal to change. Your light threatens their comfort. Your healing exposes their wounds. And instead of choosing to rise with you, they choose to stay stuck and call you crazy for moving forward. The deeper your healing goes, the more clearly you begin to see the dysfunction around you. You see the manipulation that used to be disguised as love. You see the control that was masked as concern. You see the emotional blackmail that was hidden under the words family loyalty. And when you finally gather the strength to speak your truth, to say out loud what your soul has been whispering for years, you hope they will finally understand. But instead, they gaslight you. They deny your experiences. They twist your words. They make you doubt your memories. They tell you that it wasn't that bad, that you're too sensitive, that you're making a big deal out of nothing. And it hurts deeply, because all you ever wanted was for someone to simply say, I see you, I hear you, I believe you. But when they refuse to acknowledge your truth, remember, their denial does not erase your reality. Your feelings are valid. Your story is real. Your pain deserves to be honored, even if they refuse to honor it. Speaking your truth may cost you their approval, but it will save your soul. As you heal and start stepping into your true self, you begin to achieve things, not just external success, but internal victories. You heal old wounds. You set boundaries. You chase your dreams. You become lighter, freer, stronger. And you would think your family would be proud. But with toxic family members, your growth feels like a threat. Your success shines a light on their own stuckness. Instead of celebrating you, they compete with you. They diminish your achievements with subtle jabs. They stay silent when you share your joy. They gossip about you when you are not around. They downplay your victories to make themselves feel bigger. But their reaction is not a reflection of your worth. Their resentment is a reflection of their own pain. Your light reminds them of everything they have not faced within themselves. And no matter how much they try to dim your shine, you must remember, you were never meant to stay small to make insecure people feel safe. You were meant to rise. You were meant to glow. You were meant to walk boldly into the life your soul was always destined for. Toxic family members often expect you to stay the same because the older, smaller version of you was easier for them to control. When you start changing, when you start saying no, protecting your peace, speaking your truth, they panic. They accuse you of being selfish. They tell you that you have changed, but they don't mean it as a compliment. They say it with bitterness, as if your growth is a betrayal. But hear this clearly. You are not betraying anyone by choosing yourself. You are not wrong for refusing to carry wounds that were never yours to begin with. You are not bad for outgrowing people who refuse to heal. Growth is not betrayal. Growth is survival. Growth is love. Love for yourself, for your future, for the generations that will come after you. Sometimes, the people you love the most will cling to the worst versions of you. They will hold your past mistakes against you. They will try to remind you of who you used to be instead of seeing who you are becoming. They will bring up every stumble, every scar, every wrong step, as if you are not allowed to heal, to change, to become new. But you must understand, you are allowed to grow beyond the stories others tell about you. You are allowed to become someone they never imagined. You are allowed to be free, even if they never understand the journey that set you free. And perhaps the hardest truth of all is realizing that no matter how much you love them, you cannot force people to heal. You cannot drag someone into the light who is determined to stay in darkness. You cannot sacrifice your soul trying to save someone who refuses to save themselves. Sometimes love means letting go. Sometimes healing means walking away. And sometimes freedom means choosing yourself. even when your heart aches for the people you had to leave behind. If your family wounds run deep, if your heart still aches from battles you never asked for, know this: you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are healing in places generations before you could not. You are breaking cycles that were passed down like heirlooms. You are doing the sacred, painful, beautiful work of setting yourself free. And even though it is hard, even though it hurts, it is worth it. Your healing matters. Your peace matters. Your future matters. And you never, ever have to apologize for choosing to protect your soul, even if the ones you love the most do not understand. You are allowed to be free. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to create a life that feels like love, even if it means walking away from people who never knew how to love you right. You are not wrong for choosing yourself. You are brave. You are strong. You are exactly who you were always meant to be. Some people want you to stay stuck in the role they chose for you a long time ago. They decided who you should be: the one who keeps the peace, the one who sacrifices their happiness to make others comfortable, the one who stays silent so others don't have to feel uncomfortable. Maybe they cast you as the family caretaker, the black sheep, the scapegoat, or the forever fixer. They didn't choose these roles for you because they loved you unconditionally. They chose them because it made their own lives easier. It allowed them to avoid their own pain, their own flaws, their own healing. But you were never born to live inside a role someone else wrote for you. You were not meant to shrink yourself down to fit into someone else's broken idea of family or loyalty. You were meant to wake up. You were meant to break the cycle. You were meant to step outside the cage they tried to keep you in and write your own story. Live your own truth, even if it disappoints the very people you once wanted so badly to please. It hurts when your growth upsets the people you love. It stings when the ones you thought would cheer you on become the ones most bothered by your healing. But you have to remember that your transformation is not a betrayal. Your decision to become yourself, to claim your voice, to protect your spirit, it will offend those who were counting on your silence. And that's not your fault. You are not responsible for their refusal to grow. You are only responsible for listening to the voice inside you that is calling you higher. You don't need their permission to evolve. You don't need their approval to change. You only need your own clarity, your own courage, and your own loyalty to your own soul. One of the clearest signs that you are dealing with unhealthy people is how you feel after you interact with them. Pay close attention to your energy, because energy never lies. After you spend time with certain people, do you feel lighter, freer, more yourself? Or do you feel heavier, drained, confused, guilty, or sad? Do you leave feeling loved and seen, or do you leave feeling like you were just emotionally mugged? Toxic family members often don't destroy you with obvious attacks. They don't always scream or fight you openly. Many times, it's much quieter and harder to see. They drain you through subtle warfare, passive-aggressive comments, guilt trips, manipulation masked as concern, or the constant performance of martyrdom to make you feel bad for having needs, boundaries, or a life of your own. You can spend just a few minutes talking to them and walk away questioning your worth, doubting your decisions, feeling selfish for simply trying to live your life. You can leave a phone call wondering if you're a bad person, even when all you did was ask for respect. That's not normal. That's not love. That's spiritual exhaustion disguised as family connection. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It's necessary. It doesn't make you cold. It doesn't make you a bad daughter, son, brother, sister, or grandchild. It makes you conscious. It makes you awake to the ways you were being slowly broken down and taught to believe that love always has to hurt. It doesn't. Just because someone shares your blood doesn't mean they are entitled to your spirit. Blood is biology. Love is behavior. Family isn't about who you're connected to by birth. It's about who respects your soul, who honors your truth, who cherishes your heart without trying to own it. Setting boundaries with toxic people, even if they are family, is not betrayal. It is the highest form of self-respect. It is how you teach yourself that you are worthy of peace, worthy of safety, worthy of relationships that do not leave you feeling shattered. Toxic families are masters at using guilt to control you. It's one of their favorite tools because it works so well on sensitive, empathetic people like you. They say things like, "After everything I've done for you," or "family is everything," or "you're abandoning us." But these words are not said with love. They are not meant to inspire real connection. They are said to make you doubt yourself, to hook into your empathy, and drag you back into dysfunction every time you try to climb out. They use guilt as a leash, pulling you back just when you start to break free. And if you have a kind heart, if you were raised to believe that loving others means sacrificing yourself, these guilt tactics can break you over and over again. You want to love them. You want to forgive them. You want to stay connected. But at some point, you must see clearly. Guilt is not the same thing as love. Love nurtures. Love uplifts. Love encourages growth. Guilt imprisons. Guilt suffocates. Guilt demands that you shrink yourself so that others don't have to change. You are not here to meet everyone else's expectations. You are not here to stay small to make others comfortable. You are here to become the fullest, brightest version of yourself. Let them call you selfish if they must. Let them accuse you of changing. The truth is, you have changed. You have awakened. You have seen through the illusion. You have realized that being loyal to dysfunction is not loyalty at all. It's self-abandonment. And you are done abandoning yourself for the comfort of others. Once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. You can't unknow what you now know. You can't go back to pretending that their pain is your responsibility to fix. It isn't. Their healing is their job. Your healing is yours. When you start setting healthy boundaries, toxic people don't applaud you. They push harder. When you say no, they hear a challenge. When you ask for space, they flood you with guilt. When you ask for respect, they act confused or angry. That's because they don't see you as an equal human being. They see you as something they own, something they have the right to control. And when you begin to reclaim your power, when you stop being so easy to manipulate, they panic. They may lash out. They may guilt trip you. They may turn others against you. Understand that their reaction says nothing about your worth and everything about their fear of losing control. Real love doesn't punish you for having needs. Real love doesn't require your silence. Real love doesn't ask you to abandon yourself. If a relationship demands that you suffer quietly just to maintain peace, that's not peace. That's oppression. You don't have to stay in places where love is conditional. You don't have to apologize for wanting relationships that are mutual, honest, and kind. Your voice matters. Your needs matter. Your heart matters. In dysfunctional families, the most awake person, the most sensitive, the most intuitive, the most honest, often becomes the scapegoat. You are made to feel like the problem. You're too emotional. You're too distant. You're too sensitive. You're too different. But the truth is, you are not too much. You are just the one carrying the light. You are the one who cannot pretend. You are the one who feels the cracks in the foundation, even when everyone else is trying to paint over them. Your light exposes what others would rather stay hidden. And because they cannot face their own brokenness, they turn you into the problem, so they don't have to look at themselves. You are not the problem. You are the mirror. You are the one who shows the truth simply by existing, simply by refusing to go along with the lie. And for that, they may resent you. They may push you away. They may label you as difficult or ungrateful or selfish. But none of those words are true. The truth is that you were never meant to fit into a broken system. You were born to shift it. You were born to end cycles of pain, not to repeat them. You were born to heal, to rise, to create something new and whole. I know it hurts. I know it's lonely. I know there are days when you wonder if it would be easier to just go back, to just be who they want you to be. But your soul knows that would be a slow death. You are not here for survival. You are here for transformation. The pain you feel is not a punishment. It is the growing pain of becoming who you are always meant to be. The loneliness you feel is not a sign that you're wrong. It is the empty space where something beautiful and true is waiting to be built. Toxic family might be part of your beginning, but they are not your ending. You are not doomed to repeat the story you were born into. You are allowed to create something better. You are allowed to walk away from what harms you. You are allowed to protect your peace, even if it means losing people who never truly saw you. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to rise. You are allowed to heal. You are not broken. You are breaking through.